With every other asset on Earth, anything else you can own, houses, gold, silver, commodities, stocks, bonds, when the price goes up, the supply increases. If I increase the price of any stock by a factor of 10, the company issues more stock.
Of course.
Bitcoin's the only thing in the world that's inelastic to price. If the price of Bitcoin triples, you can't make any more. If the price goes up by a factor of a million, you can't make any more. In engineering, there's something called conservation of energy. And the whole point of conservation of energy is energy can either be made or destroyed. There has to be conservation of it. The mathematical metaphor, the mathematical analogy to that is proper math. 10 plus 10 equals 20. 2 plus 2 equals 4. If 10 plus 10 ever starts equaling 18, you got a problem.
Yeah.
If you have a swimming pool with a leak, if I have an electric system with a short circuit, if I have a leak in my engineering system, nothing works.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the AltStChronicle.
We're back again with more BS in the crypto universe. Nexus here. I'm proud as always to be your host. We're going to be covering how Sam Bankman-Fried got from king of an empire to king of a jail cell. Meanwhile, famous lender GenesisTrading is basically shuttering its doors. Digital Currency Group is closing their wealth management division. Finally, Coffeezilla is going up against Logan Paul. He's dropping a video later today. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Man, they can't really shut down the crazy around here, can they? Not even for a week. Alright, so starting us out, here's the latest in the Sam Bankman drama. This coming from Stacey Elliott over at Decrypt. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried faces 8 criminal charges ranging from fraud to conspiracy to commit money laundering in connection with the collapse of his once dominant exchange. Earlier this week, he pled not guilty on all charges and got a trial date of October 2nd. But if that's all you know about the saga, you might be wondering why any of this matters. Collapse of FTX became the single largest event to rock the crypto markets. Before it ceased operations and filed for bankruptcy, it was the second largest exchange in the world and saw nearly $30 billion in daily volume. To those of you out there who understand why we need a decentralized option to these offshore centralized Ponzi funds, this is why. FTX was to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum what the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ are to stocks. Now, with $8 billion missing, allegations of commingled funds with trading firm Alameda Research and its founder out on bail, the team overseeing FTX's restructuring says that it has spent months trying to locate all of those funds, and customers still have absolutely no idea if they will ever see their money again. As you all know, FTX was famously founded in 2019 by Sam Bankman-Fried, who exploited the kimchi premium to make a killing on Bitcoin, buying it in the West and selling it in the East. In 2020, as the rest of the world was reeling from disaster and disease, Sam Bankman-Fried rode his wave of popularity and launched a fractionalized stock trading service for Tesla, Apple, and Amazon derivatives. They also tokenized stocks for cannabis companies. Quote, "To be blunt, this is one of the dopest joint listings we've done," Bankman-Fried wrote in a pun-filled tweet at the time. Meanwhile, in 2021, FTX went on a sports spending spree, buying up shares in all sorts of teams and getting their logo in all sorts of funny places. In July of 2021, FTX bought out Binance's shares in their company. But a year later, June 2022, Terra and Three Arrows Capital throws the whole market into disarray. This quickly snowballs, and over the next 6 months, events would unfold that would lead directly to the insolvency and total collapse of the FTX exchange. What's most curious about all of this to me as a commentator is this final paragraph in the Decrypt piece. Quote, "The Southern District of New York revealed that two of Bankman-Fried's closest allies, co-founder Gary Wang and ex-Alameda Research chief executive Caroline Ellison, had pled guilty to their own charges and were cooperating with authorities as they built their case against Bankman-Fried." So that's where we're at the FTX story. One hell of an Icarus, if you asked me. Moving on, it was announced yesterday that crypto lender Genesis would be laying off 30% of its staff. This formal source coming from David Hollerith over at Yahoo, who writes, "Crypto lender Genesis cuts its staff by 30% in another round of layoffs," the company says Thursday. First report comes from the Wall Street Journal, and the latest round of job cuts comes 2 months after Wobie, or excuse me, not Wobie, that's a different crisis. There's rumors of Wobie's insolvency going on, but we're talking about GenesisTrading right now, which is property of Digital Currency Group. Genesis is a crypto financial services company that has trading, lending, market making, and custody businesses. DCG also owns Grayscale, sponsor of the world's largest Bitcoin trust, the GBTC, as well as crypto media outlet CoinDesk and crypto mining financier Boundary. Genesis took several major hits during 2022's market turmoil, the first being a $2.4 billion loss after major borrowing partner Three Arrows Capital failed to meet its margin calls on loans. Starting June 16, 2022, they would officially file for bankruptcy on the 2nd of July. In August, Genesis announced the resignation of its CEO and 20% workforce layoffs. The company was also known to be a significant lender for Alameda Research, the trading arm of the bankrupt crypto platform FTX. Truly, the virus that is Sam Bankman-Fried knows no bounds. Oh, hey, Pennybags. Nice to see you. And Pennybags coming to visit in Twitch chat. Earlier this week, Cameron Winklevoss, co-founder and CEO of crypto exchange Gemini, wrote an open letter to Barry Silbert, the CEO of parent company Digital Currency Group, accusing DCG of owing Genesis customers $1.6 billion and calling the business relationship between DCG and Genesis, quote, beyond commingled. Winklevoss also accused Silbert of bad faith stall tactics as the company's business dispute came to a head. And friends, let me just tell you, as a guy who's got money locked up with Gemini and GeminiEarn, this is absurd. This is so frustrating. If I didn't have money locked up with these fools, watching them feud in public on Twitter would be a popcorn-worthy event and something worthy of great amusement. However, because I have money with these idiots, when they go feud on the internet, and this includes Barry, who responded to Cameron's obviously provocative letter, both parties in this situation really set all of us up to look like frickin' morons. And nothing could be more aggravating. I expect them to get together and work together to solve this liquidity crisis, if that's really what it is. However, based on my observations, and based on what Cameron Winklevoss is saying in the multiple updates I've gotten from Gemini, as well as the letter they sent to Digital Currency Group and Barry Silbert, it's pretty obvious that Barry did a Sam Bankman-Fried at this point. It appears that Barry lent money from Genesis to himself over at Digital Currency Group, because he owns both of these, you see. He's the chief of both of these entities. So we have a situation, unlike FTX, where the trading and wealth management arm is doing the lending to the bigger company. Whereas with FTX, they had the bigger company, the exchange, doing the lending to the trading arm using customer funds. So it's a very similar situation, but at the same time, there's some very key nuanced differences going on here. Either way you spin it, though, it looks really bad for Barry. Through the Earn program, Gemini customers, myself among them, are owed $900 million in deposits by GenesisTrading. This according to the Winklevoss twins. Gemini has also organized a creditor committee and hired restructuring lawyers and financial advisors in the firms Kirkland and Ellis and Houlihan Lokey. Silbert is denying all the accusations, stating that Genesis' loan payment isn't until May 2023, and that Digital Currency Group had delivered a proposal to Genesis and Gemini's advisors on December 29th. If this was any other company or any other corporate situation, we'd all be still sitting here just in the dark, quietly minding our own business and wondering what's going on. But because we're dealing with blockchain and the nuanced resemblance of transparency, then all of these people fighting in public, it's honestly kind of exactly what I would expect to see. This is the reason why FTX collapsed in 3 years instead of in 30 years. Everybody who constantly compares it to, say, Bernie Madoff and Enron and these other long-form Ponzi schemes, they're not actually reflecting on how the transparency of all of these ledgers enables these schemes to unfold in rapid time. And this brings us to our final story of today's live stream. Perhaps the most internet viral one and the least colorful because it's so obvious what's going on. Logan Paul, YouTuber, content creator, boxer, shit stirrer, and all-around famous person, has decided that it is a brilliant branding and business move for him to feud with perhaps one of the most powerful, influential, and, in my opinion, respectable content creators on the platform, that being Coffeezilla, who has quite a track record of busting scammers. Now, in crypto, we see scammers all the time. Literally all the time, every day. I think we banned 2 just today. So, thinking about things from our perspective, a lot of us in the community here, we've got a ton of respect for what Coffeezilla does. I don't know anyone who has bad things to say about what Coffeezilla does in my community. So when I hear Coffee himself complaining on Twitter about how Logan Paul is addressing his quite substantive allegations, I am going to pay attention. This from Coffeezilla a couple days ago. Logan Paul just posted in the CryptoZoo Discord for the first time in over a year, quote, "Long time no see. Hope y'all have a wonderful NYE, presumably New Year's Eve. We'll start 2023 with a bang." The first reply just simply reads, "Hope you can repair everything," from Demonic. And Logan Paul writes, I am. Coffeezilla goes on, "It seems like Logan is trying to say that he's back to repair CryptoZoo and blame his co-workers for being bad actors. CryptoZoo community reaction is not great for him." He cites the following screenshot, which A user named Haupt writes, "Could you stop being a simp and falling for 3 random messages after over a year of pain?" Jake SPR writes, "So why did you abandon us for over a year? Why did it take coffee to expose everything for you to message? We have lost millions. People's lives have been destroyed. I hope you know the impact you have had on all of our lives and can take some accountability. Whether it was entirely your fault or not, we believed in you and have been completely fucked over because of that." More community reactions. Fuck him. Fuck's sake. Most people have sold and took the L. What happens to all of those people? They'll make some game just to get away from the lawsuit. Finally, Coffee writes, "I think the worst outcome here is that Logan actually convinces people to dump more money into his train wreck. One last con, and it's not impossible when this is what happens." He cites the final screenshot in which 2 users are engaging in a bit of conversation. One writes, "Anomalous Wanderer, unpopular opinion. Think I might put in another $1,000 right now. Only because I think after Logan has Coffeezilla on the podcast to talk about CryptoZoo, people are still going to invest. I'm not trying to be for Logan or this project at all. I've been in since day 2 and have gotten totally fucked over. Purely looking at this as an opportunity to make a quick buck. I don't recommend this unless you have the financial standing, but I'm going to take a gamble because I really do think people will buy in after the podcast. Price has already doubled in the past 4 days." Kurt replies to Anomalous Wanderer, "I've spent a couple $100 in the last 2 weeks. Better to buy now than at the beginning when the project was overhyped, in my opinion." Guys. I'm just going to ask everybody in the chat right now, Twitch or Discord, would you guys pour money into a sinking NFT ship run by a YouTuber just because you like the YouTuber? Is that something you would do? Pennybag says, "Not a drop." I believe it, brother. Nicholas, no. Cyber Unicorn, fuck no. I've seen this shit before. Nicholas, I only throw my money toward a guy named Nix. Which I guess audience can confirm. Nicholas sent me tokens for Christmas. So thank you again for that, Nicholas. You definitely did not have to do that. We all know how this is going to end. Yep, that is true. Oh. I do not recommend to anyone on YouTube, anyone on Twitch, anyone on Twitter, anyone on any platform, if you're down 80 to 90% in an NFT project, I don't care what the project is or who's running it. It could be Logan Paul. It could be Anthony Pompliano. It could be a hypothetical former president of the United States. But if you buy and you are down 80 to 90% from the mint price, and you buy more, I don't know if anyone can save you. In fact, I'm pretty confident that the only thing that's going to happen is that you are going to waste yourself. Alrighty, I'm going to open the phones. Anybody got any comments on this goofy day that we've had? Goofy week, goofy start to the year. Sam Bankman's cohorts are all freaking throwing him under the bus. Meanwhile, Genesis is continuing to tread water amidst the drowning. There's just so much craziness going on. I will say this, there are a lot of small micro caps out there who are still building, struggling, working, fighting this incredible uphill battle to get recognized and get a little bit of play. Special shout outs in that department go to ARC, HDX, and QRL. I like all three of those. I think they're very interesting, and all three deserve further research if you are listening to this and haven't checked into three of those. When I say ARC, I'm not referring to Kathy Wood. Just so everybody knows. We're not talking about Kathy Wood. We're talking about a crypto token that is ERC20 based. Nicholas writes, I'm quite interested in seeing where we're heading. Like at some point, I think we need to have Bitcoin either skyrocket or crash. Let major investors burn out so we can finally have true use cases with true tokens with true use cases rise up. I can't disagree from that. Pennybags writes, ARC, formerly Depot. Yes, Penny, that is the project that I'm referring to. Their toolkit is incredible, and it's probably going to get scooped up or swallowed by somebody at some point. It would not shock me if somebody with $1 gajillion came in and bought ARC, like just the whole project, and said, this is mine now. I am now in charge of this. I like TJ a lot. I really hope TJ doesn't like totally cash out and just give up on the project, because I think TJ's got a really good heart, and he's a good manager, and I think he's got a great sense of where they need to go. I have so much respect for him after they handled the depot rugging, because that scenario was perhaps one of the killer nightmares that just destroys a project from within. When you hire someone who's malicious, you can't trust them, and the whole project just rugs. It's disgusting. And it happens to so many projects where people were there trying to honestly build something, and one person with malicious intent ruins the entire thing. That's all it takes. That's actually all it takes in a traditional company as well, depending on how much power you give one asshole. Yeah, there's just so much there. Oh, hey, Fish, good to see you. Yeah, we just hanging out talking about the news. This has been a good show. I've gotten a lot covered in a very small amount of time. Pennybags writes, you mentioned a few small caps that are still building and continue to look promising. Adding to that, do you have any NFT projects or communities worth mentioning? Oh, there's all sorts of those that are still out there. I think Seal, if Seal was here, he probably would know one or two that are wholesome and probably good to look into. I know if you're into actual returns and trying to invest and get return on an NFT, the most promising one that I've seen lately is Bourbon and Blockchain, which is essentially just a social club NFT, just like all the others. But the difference that makes Bourbon and Blockchain interesting to me personally is that when you buy the NFT, each NFT actually represents a share of a set of hosted nodes. So in that sense, you're actually buying a true decentralized part of a business, because those nodes are generating revenue in crypto assets. So that's an understandable return strategy. Like it can't be a Ponzi because you can look on chain. You can see the BNB nodes, the Bourbon blockchain nodes that these guys are hosting. I'm pretty sure they're doing Binance nodes, Cosmos nodes. I don't know if they're doing, I don't know which other ones they're looking into, but I know any hosting or crypto service provision that they can do, they're looking into it for providing yield for the NFT holders in their community. So that's, I guess, I haven't bought one myself because I haven't had the money to float to buy one of those. But if I was trying to buy an NFT, there's actually two NFTs I would be trying to buy. One would be that one, the Bourbon and blockchain, but I don't have the cash right now, liquid, so I can't float that. The other one I'd be interested in buying into would be a video game related project. I want to buy a piece of digital land, or basically quote unquote an asteroid, in the Ships That Fight Underground game. I would love to buy that because I think it would be kind of a cool creative outlet for me to build a level that people can actually play online and have a kind of experience in playing the game, and the experience they have playing the level has a token generating capacity for resources that I can use in the game. So I think that's actually a really cool use for Polygon supernets, is that it'll essentially be a gasless way to transact game tokens for Ships That Fight Underground. And I love Descent. You guys know when I interviewed that project, I talked a lot about Descent, so I'm still looking at them. And the thing that's worth noting about STFU, they were, as of a few months ago, planning on doing a bunch of pre-sale like stuff. As of last time I talked to them, they're not going to do any of that shit now. They've thrown basically all of the typical NFT marketing crap, they threw all of that out, which I thought was a smart strategy decision because gamers already don't like NFTs and crypto tech. It doesn't mean they aren't going to use NFTs and crypto tech. They definitely are. But the way they're setting it up, it's going to be a lot more free, open, and public in terms of the release of the NFTs rather than some sort of exclusive whitelisted pre-sale bullshit. Because the company who's making this game, they don't want people to speculate with this stuff and be telling people they're going to get rich because it's a fucking video game. They want people to buy this stuff to use it in the game and have fun in the game. So they want the value to stay tied to that explicit function. They don't actually want it to be a speculative wealth vehicle. I think that's smart. You don't release a token early unless you're trying to turn it into a wealth speculation vehicle. So yeah, that's my NFT rant for the day. Boy, we're squeezing it in here. Anybody else have any other good thoughts? Otherwise, I better actually wrap this up because there are some other things I got to tackle today before we have some evening fun in the Discord server. Oh yeah, I guess there's one other bit of business I should add. There are rumors, unconfirmable by myself. There are rumors circulating the crypto market at the moment that the Huobi cryptocurrency exchange is insolvent and potentially going bankrupt. These rumors are presumably being fueled by the fact that Huobi is also, like Genesis, laying off tons of people right now. I don't think that means the same thing as all the crypto people think it means, but I'm reporting that this is a popular rumor circulating regardless, because in our industry around here, people buy and sell these rumors. So this has resulted, presumably, in a combination of events. That there was some data that suggested that the Tron blockchain had surpassed the Binance blockchain in terms of total value locked, because Justin Sun is directly the founder of Tron, highly involved in Huobi. Tron token appears to have taken a beating. I'm assuming that this is CZ and friends going ham and having some money-making fun playing with Tron tokens that are liquid on the market. But I can't confirm that for sure. That is pure speculation on my part. What I do know, though, is that there's a price war going on the Tron, and Huobi seems to be suffering as a result. A little bit of a FUD explosion, if you will. So yeah, that's your news for today, Wolfies. Did anybody else have questions or comments they wanted me to talk about? If not, as always, it has been an incredible pleasure delivering you this semi-weekly news update. I've been a little irregular with it these past few weeks due to holiday drama and other various forms of excitement happening in the real world. I got that master's degree, so yay! I don't know what's in store for me next, but I'm shopping around, I'm dangling my fishing line, and I'll see if I hook anything. Wish me luck in my expeditions, my friends. In the meantime, keep an eye out and stay curious, and I shall catch you guys next time.